So this is the beautiful, elegant and epic Kinnaber Viaduct, which crosses between Angus and Aberdeenshire across the River North Esk. Now this viaduct is one of two on the former 12-mile long Bervie Railway, which opened in 1865, and it was meant to deliver a direct line to Aberdeen, but it was never built beyond Inverbervie due to difficult topography north of there. The Kinnaber Viaduct, the iconic and defining feature of this railway. Since the A92 bridge below doesn't have a footway, the Kinnaber Viaduct was converted into a footpath a few years ago to allow people to safely walk across the river. Now the second viaduct on the Bervie Railway is a little more hidden, a little more secretive than the Kinnaber Viaduct. Now the Den Finella Viaduct sits right in those trees there. It doesn't look like much from here, but this viaduct sits 130 feet from the gorge below. This is where classic rolling arable Aberdeenshire farmland suddenly reaches a very deep and imposing gorge, and the best way to appreciate this one is to go down below. The only way to appreciate the Den Finella Viaduct is to see it from below, but there's no path to get there. The only way to do it is to just walk up the stream. Now walking up this gorge is generally quite easy. The river's not too deep, except by this fallen tree where the water is built up behind it, so the only way to do it is to go over there, scramble up and try not to fall into the deep part of the water. Now when you do walk up the gorge, you're treated to this absolutely epic view of one of Scotland's tallest viaducts. Now it might be only 4 arches long, but when you see it from down here, it becomes something else. This is definitely, out of all the viaducts I've visited, my favourite viaduct. Now the viaduct doesn't actually quite reach the bottom of the gorge. It's held up by these rocky outcrops, which themselves are supported by brick, which you can see just through there. Here we go. This is the viaduct from above. And you can see it's a very long way back down to the bottom again. Now Den Finella is named after Lady Finella, who was born in 950. Now she was from Fettercairn, and at the time King Kenneth II was ruling. Now at some point during her life, the king killed Lady Finella's son. Naturally she was upset, but she plotted her revenge, and history tells us in a rather strange way. Apparently she lured the king into a cottage somewhere near Fettercairn, with a statue in the middle of the room that was rigged with bows and arrows. So as soon as the king touched said statue, these bows and arrows came out, slashed the king, and killed him dead. Now I think that last bit is a bit of an elaboration, but I'm fairly sure that Lady Finella was responsible for King Kenneth II's death. Now after killing the king in 995, Lady Finella fled Fettercairn and ran down towards the coast, trying to avoid the king's men. She reached this dramatic gorge, and in front of her was a waterfall. She had two options. She could either jump and sacrifice her own life so that the king's men wouldn't kill her, or she could accept fate and let the king's men take her. Now some people say that she was pushed. I like to think that in her last moments she decided to end her life by her own rules, by jumping herself. Although it's a sad story, this is why this den is named after Den Finella, and hopefully she went out with some respect. Wow, that really is a long way down. Now those are the two viaducts that are left on the former Bervie Railway, which opened in 1865 and it closed on October 1st, 1951. Now out of the two viaducts on this line, this one is definitely my favourite. In fact, this is my favourite viaduct of all time, because I really like the setting, I really like the height, and it's just such a glorious place to be. And history of the Den is great, definitely deserves funds it.